Well, it is finally that time that I have finished my gaming retro trunk. Let's take a look inside. Alright, so this is my retro video gaming trunk. Inside of this little old steamer trunk, I have 14 systems running. All can play on a push of a button onto this 32-inch screen TV that is put inside the lid just like that. So right now we have Street Fighter 2 running on the Genesis. Let's go over the consoles that I have in here. I have the NES top loader. This is modded with component instead of the RF. I have my orange Funtastic N64. I have my Super NES Mini, and it's has the cartridge. The Super Game Boy also plays on this too, so that's kind of an additional system. I'm not counting that right now. We have the Genesis 3 playing Street Fighter right now. A lot of questions I get, and I'm going to answer a few of them right now or throughout this video. Why do I have like the top loader when I don't have the original NES? Because it's supposed to be better, I guess. Why do I have the Mini? Why do I have the Genesis 3? Because the sound's not that great. A lot of these consoles I have in here are because they're small enough to fit in here, and I can fit more consoles in here. In the corner, we have my PS1. Again, another small console. It has a screen. This is playing Twisted Metal 2, and it will play on the TV also. I just have the Genesis 3 running on the TV. I'll show you how everything's hooked up in a second. Below the PS1, I have the Ps2 White. I just picked this up the other day. I have about 4 different systems. I have 2 black, a silver, and I just picked this up for $10. Pretty stoked about that. Also have the memory card that's white and a little bit of blue. The blue really matches well with the PS3 Super Slim sitting right below it. Below that is the Xbox 360. Another question I get a lot is, well, this looks like a fire hazard. As you can see, there's some cables on the right. I do have the PS3 sitting on risers. Not sure if you can see it in the video, but there is a space between it to get some airflow going through. I also have a fan, which I will talk about in a minute. It's not hooked up at the second, but I'll talk about it. Next to the PS2, I have my TurboGrafx. That's actually the only game I have at the moment. I will probably get an EverDrive for this and load on every single game that's on that system. I have the Super NES Classic. Now, I call this my retro video gaming trunk. And this isn't retro video gaming, I guess. It's kind of a newer console. Same with those. But the reason why I have this and the Super NES Mini is because there's a lot of Super NES games that I've never played. A lot of them I can't find. A lot of them I can't afford. And I have this modded. This has 210 games on it. A lot of games that I would never get, but I get a chance to play them now, so I thought I'd throw it in here. I can also hook up my NES Classic in here that's modded with 800 games on 5 different systems, but I thought this would be a good one for my trunk. This is my original Sega Master System with one of my favorite games of all time, Teddy Boy. Down below, I have the Wii. I couldn't figure out which color I wanted to put in here. I was gonna do blue, the red, or the black, but I thought the white looks good alongside the white paint inside this trunk. I have Nintendo GameCube. I have my Sega Dreamcast Sports Edition. So this is how I hook everything up so I can play everything with a push of a button. So on the very top I have my LED. I can turn it off at any time. There is a little bit of a glare on the TV when I have this going on at night, but it's still pretty nice to have. I can fade it down if I need to. I also have another LED light in the very back. You can see the blue light. I can change that to any color that I want. Green, red, purple. I can do different colors, fading in, fading out, but I like the blue or the white. This is blue right here. Matters kind of what game I'm playing also. Below that, I have my HDMI switcher. Running off HDMI is my PS3, my Xbox. I have my Sega Dreamcast. I'll show you how I'm hooking that one up. And I have my Super NES Classic. And then on the bottom, I have my component switch, or composite switch, and that's running all the other systems. I have all 8 systems hooked up to this, and they all kind of run in order from Nintendo to Sega to the PS1 and 2, which are input 7 and 8, right over there. Now, cable management, that is one of the biggest things that I get asked about. Is this a fire hazard? And if you look down below, holy cow, this looks like a complete disaster. It's actually not too bad. I'm recording this on a quite tight space right now. I have a big, huge area. If I go out a little bit, and if I go back in, there's a huge area of just nothing, and I actually kind of zip tied a lot of the cables and just stacked them on each other right here in the corner. In the very, very back, I have a 24 outlet power supply. It's kind of hard to see. You can see it back there. And I'll show you where that's running out in a second. It is buried with a lot of cables. But the cable management is very, very difficult. It was a lot more than I thought, a lot more cables, but it actually turned out for me pretty well. Everything is zip tied. It does look like a mess. And every single outlet is taken in the sense of, like, that's my Sega Master System power outlet. And that takes up 3 spots because the power is so big, the box is just a pain in the butt. It takes up 3 spots. So I've used the full power outlet. So I said earlier that my Dreamcast is running off HDMI. I actually forgot, it is not running off HDMI. My Wii is running off HDMI, and it's running off this cool little thing I found on Amazon. It is a Wii HDMI converter, and it actually works really, really great. My Dreamcast is running off this cool Japanese converter box that I got a long time ago. It's running off VGA, computer monitor. All the cables come up here, and I put this cool little white sleeve that has Velcro on it. So cover it up, because if not, it'd just be a bunch of black cables. And all of that is running into the back of the TV. This TV supports 2 HDMI, USB, VGA, component, which I don't have anything in component, but I have those cables ready if I need them. And I have to say, I love this little play area. The reason why I did this was I don't have a lot of room in my house. I have 3 kids, I have a wife, and I wanted my own little, I guess, sanctuary out in the garage. It is very easy to play these games. I can just turn one game on with a push of a button. So if I want to go to the PS1, which is playing Twisted Metal 2, it's just a push of a button. This steamer trunk is from the early 1900s, maybe late 1800s. It has a little wear and tear, but it's a really good size. I installed new wheels on it, so it rolls really well. And I did put a couple holes in it, and that was because I needed to mount the TV. You can see there's one there, and then 2 on the other side. And also on the very, very bottom, I had to drill a hole to get the power supply out and plug that into the wall. So anyway, that is my retro video gaming trunk. What do you guys think? Oh, I didn't add the fan. I don't have the fan in now, but I have a small USB fan that I will plug it in. I have an extra USB adapter that I actually, right now, I have my iPhone charger right there. So when I have my phone out here, and if I'm streaming on Instagram, I can charge it up, but I can plug that fan in and get air circulation going through. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys like this cool little build. I've took a lot of time and effort to build this thing, and this is going to be in my garage for a long time. I sit on it every night and play. If you guys like the video, please give me a like, and I'll see you around.